My name is Scholten. I'm the CEO and founder of NorthQ, which I founded back in 2007. We are a smaller company. I would say we are actually growing now. We are scaling. We are 18 employees. And we really have a passion for data. We have a passion for really doing a change. The people that works in the company are actually all millennials, except myself. But that really actually has been doing something really good, because we're really creating innovation, and we're really active in how we can collect data and use data. What we do is actually we make buildings data-driven. We have developed different IoT sensors from collecting data. I will get back to that in a moment. But we do both the hardware, the software, and the cloud. And during those years, we learned a lot. And we learned that this area is very complicated. Everybody thinks it's quite easy to do all this data collection. And there are data sources. There are the data hub from EnergyNet. And of course, you can get data, but some data is delayed. Some data comes later. And also, they don't offer actually the total meter value. So you're not able actually to interpolate when you retrieve the data. When you're going into the field, you will see many challenges. You have many different types of meters and challenges for technical collection. I mean, that can be range issues, it can be internet problems, also data loggers, are they storing everything, and so on. So it's quite complicated. And what we work with for all these years is really to make a very easy and fluent solution. We found out that actually what is needed is it's a place where you can actually get all your data. As you can see today, you have the data hub, that's only electricity data. But you also need gas data, you need heating data for district heating meters or other sensors. And today you have many different platforms, but there's not so many who can bring it to one single platform. And that's what we have been working on. Actually, it's taken a long time because when we started the company, we were only focused actually on the hardware part. My background is from IT, so I thought, okay, let's just do some hardware and let other people integrate with the product. And we did that, but people didn't integrate properly, and that needed bad user interface, very complicated installation procedure, and data was not coming. So we basically took that knowledge and said, okay, we need to develop a gateway, and that gateway should actually be combined, and then we provide an API. And that was gradually the way the company changed. And after we did this, we also had customers coming back to us and saying, well, we kind of need to prove that, okay, it is collecting. So we also needed to build a user interface and so on. And during all this time, it's all about, so far right now, what we see in the market is to deliver an end-to-end solution. It's very difficult to go out to property managers, building operators, and sell something. They don't understand. I mean, we are in this, we are probably all geeks, and also what I heard before here, I mean, I don't understand half of it. And if you go out to the publics and you try to sell some of this, they understand absolutely nothing. They just want a solution, and IoT is about digital transformation. It's about collecting data, and not only from energy. That's a part of it. It's maybe 10%, but it is collecting the company data and bringing that into a central platform where people actually can use that data across the whole organization and create operational efficiency and value. So what we have been doing is we build a platform, we collect the data, and what we do is actually, when we started, we just wanted to sell the hardware. But actually, the hardware, customers don't want to pay for it. They don't care about it. They just look at, okay, what is our core? And our core is an IoT platform. And then they actually ask, okay, what can you import some of the data? And then we said, okay, well, sure. I mean, we can try to do that. And then you find out that there are many different formats out there. And then they send very simple CSV files, and they want to import them. but there are problems changing in the data format, and then when you import, then suddenly, if you don't clean the data, then suddenly you don't get the right data into the data injection. So it's really all about this cleaning of data and collecting it and making it commonly available in one standard format. And what we provide is also an API, so all the data that comes in, it can be taken out again as well. What we also do is, I mean, we have different sensors, and I think we can. This is actually the third generation of our product. We call it the Swiss Army knife for metering because it has many different sensor heads that you can put on. So you can put it on the old mechanical meter, and the first product that we made was for Dong Energy or Ørsted. That was back in 2011. We finished that project. That was to read the old mechanical meters. And the old mechanical meters, of course, now they are changed here. Ørsted is rolling out all these smart meters. But no matter where, there is always and will always be some mechanical meters left, because when they try to exchange them, then there was a door closed somewhere and there will be some left. And all around the world, our market is worldwide, so we see Asia, South America, Africa, there are tons of these. And what we did is then we can read those old ones. We can also read the new ones, the smart meters, and we can also read analog gas meters in different ways. And now we made a transformation of the company from, we actually started in smart home, so it's very interesting what we heard before, but we actually gradually found out we cannot make money in the smart home, so we transformed the business here within the last 2 years into making buildings data-driven and using the devices that we can retrofit on any meter and then get the data live. So what we also found out is that for the data collection, we started with a certain wireless technology. We started in the home, that was kind of the wireless technology C-Wave. Then we moved into the industrial, and now we have developed gateways for wireless M-Bus. We also have for LoRa, we have different solutions. What is interesting for people and for the customer is that they can get the data. They don't care how. Just do it, make it stable, reliable, and give me granular data. We have also in our hardware, we also have interchangeable wireless modules. So no matter, well, it's about lowering the cost per metering point. So by using narrowband, that can be one way. If you have a few metering points, narrowband may be the right technology. If you have a lot of metering points in a building, then LoRa, you have one central gateway and you can collect from many meters at a time. Again, what we also found out during the years in the development is battery lifetime is critical. It's an issue. If you don't have long lifetime, it's a problem because nobody is going to go out there and exchange it. Then the data will not come. And also on the business model side, it's too expensive to send anyone out there. So it's better to maybe pay a little bit more for the hardware, but have the remote management capabilities of changing things or knowing what's going on inside the sensors. We also provide that. And we have a new LoRa, that is a CO2 temperature and humidity sensor. And that is on battery. It can also be powered, but most people, what we see, want to have actually the battery. So for every 5 minutes, we transmit the data to the cloud, and then we have around 5 years battery lifetime. Cases. So what we did, as this is a very new market, and I think everybody is trying to find their feet. Where is the value chain? Where are we going to be in the value chain? And I think there's also, when we look at all the companies that are trying to work together, I think we are all getting to the point where we are knowing in which area we are in. Because I think there's a lot of competition, maybe, okay, are you going to step over my feet and so on? But I think this is gradually now getting into a situation where we know more what we are good at, each of us. And what we did with Boligselskabet Sjælland, it's a social housing company. They have 13,000 homes. And we had a meeting with them a year ago, and we're trying actually to sell our hardware to them because at that time in our business model we really focused on the hardware, but they actually said, we don't want your hardware, we have data. And we already we get data from Ringsted Forsyning and Roskilde Forsyning and Växjö, and said the price we came per metering point was too high. And then gradually we said, okay, why don't you just give us your data so we can try to work with them. And then we started this cooperation with them where we actually imported all their data from many, around 100 heat stations. We cleaned that data, and then we also combined that data with data from the official building register. And then they said to us, you know, we're using Energy Key from KMD, which is a software that can do a lot of things for us. But it's an energy management system, but it doesn't really analyze the data, and it doesn't give us what we want. It's too complicated. It's a legacy system. What we want is something flexible. We have employees that are coming into the company, and we also have people leaving, so it's very important that they understand some simple dashboard. So actually taking a complex system and making it into really simple dashboards where everyone understands what's going on, and the key driver is to have dashboards that is actually customized to different types of people in the organization. Some dashboard can be for the economic department, somebody can be for the technical people, and so on. And what we have been doing, we did integration with Microsoft Power BI, and we built our energy management system inside Power BI. And for Boligselskabet Sjælland, this was a game changer, and after they saw we made a short demo, imported their data and showed them how it could be, and then suddenly they thought, okay, this is a great idea, let's continue on this, and we worked together now for a year. We are building the product together, and of course we're coming, our background is from IT, we are very good at doing a software, hardware, cloud, but we had absolutely no clue about energy management and about how all this understanding about degree days and all that. But the good thing about all these partnerships is you learn, and by working closely together, we build a product. And what we have been doing is a dashboard where, does this one? Anyway, up there you can select the different departments. So we have a list of all their departments. You can choose between the different areas also. And then what's basically is happening is they wanted to have a simple dashboard where we just visualize what are the problems, or I would say we actually categorize energy consumption per square meter. So they wanted to see which one has a bad performance, and also which one has bad cooling. So what we do is, when we collect the data from inlet and outlet temperature, we can calculate actually the economical impact if they are, what extra bill they will actually get. And then we built this kind of simple dashboard, and there's a lot more functionality to this, but it's the whole idea is to make energy management simple. For Kolding municipality, they're using our data collection platform, so we have like the data hub, and there we are actually working on heat pumps. We installed in 3 schools where we have heat pumps, and they have like 4 heat pumps in each school. And what they actually was interested to do there is actually to see and calculate the efficiency. The efficiency is quite low, and they don't know why. And there we had on each heat pump they have installed a heat meter, and then we are calculating what is actually the heat production coming out from the heat pumps. Here again, what they want to do is a lot about also comparing the efficiency, what's the manufacturer spec, with what is their the real efficiency. And then also what is interesting is also to know, they have, in one of the schools they have combined a heat pump and they have gas, and that is also to find out about the efficiency, and actually the next step is also for controlling according to make the best performance and the highest efficiency of when we have to use gas and when to use electricity. Another project that we are finalizing now is and that's more in property management, and that is owner associations. And there we have this project, 61 apartments, and that is Sonderborg. And there they have just exchanged to smart meters, so each individual apartment has a hot water and cold water and a heat meter. We are measuring all those apartments. Then we are measuring inside the heat central, we are measuring from the main heater, the main district heating coming in, the main water coming in, and then we also have a water tank where we're also measuring how much district heating is used to heat up the water, and then also we measure the water tank. And then what we're doing of services here is actually the tenant. The tenant is getting an app, so they can follow every hour the consumption from electricity, heat and water. And then also the interesting part here is that the app can be used as a communication tool for the administrator. So let's say if heating is off, you know, typically there can be like 50 people or 30 people calling in and asking for the same. With this way and with the cloud platform, they can provide a full communication to them so they don't get all these calls and offer a better service. Then also the administrator of the whole 61 apartments can also follow which apartment is destroying the energy efficiency in the building. And then finally what we're doing is actually we are doing the heat cost billing, the annual statement, so each apartment will calculate and send the bill to each of the owners. And also what we're doing is we're measuring also pressure on the fifth floor, so we actually, they have a problem not getting enough water out, so all these alarms will be forwarded to the administrator of that building. And then additionally, if you then administrate many buildings, you can have all that into one central tool where you survey all the buildings and you only have your dashboard of what is needed there. The last thing I just wanted to state is, of course, for all this to happen and for all of us to work together, what is important is, of course, APIs, that everybody makes APIs available. I mean, this market is huge. We need to work together, and we need to really actually see it as when we work together, we have different services, and the more services that is connected between us, the more we can sell, and the bigger the pie will be. So it is just to tell that I think cooperation is really important. I know that one of the challenges we maybe didn't know exactly which area. I think that's pretty clear now. So I'm just saying we're welcome to work together. Thanks.
Thank you, Christian. So, yeah, I would love to have time for discussion, but anyone here who knows where we go for dinner and all like that? Anyone engaged in planning of the whole thing? No? Okay, so I cannot announce where we are going for dinner. Anyway, so maybe because we are only a few minutes late, but I would like to say that it has been really, I mean, you're adding a very practical into our program this afternoon, and even though we started by saying that it's very difficult to achieve the 70%, and it is going to be very difficult, but there's also a lot of things we can do. And if we can implement all what we know now and all what we can do, if we could just get on with it and implement it all, I mean, we will get pretty close to 70%. So that's good, right? But it's a long implementation process. So any questions? Or maybe anyone can run after someone who would know where Because I do think we need some information on where the dinner is.
It's a healthy hotel, just...
Okay, so you know. Yeah. There's a question. You take that question first and then you come on.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's a question about the introduction of the GDPR and how are you handling this in your company? Is it a challenge?
For GDPR or BBR?
GDPR, so the new
GDPR.
data protection.
Yeah, I mean, that has taken a lot of time. I mean, it was a big challenge also because we're a smaller company, and every time we had to do and check with our lawyers, it cost like a lot of money. So we had paid a lot to the lawyers, but also now we have one dedicated person that is actually knowing everything about this. And of course, in all our contracts and so on, we will actually take care of that, or the privacy. And we build it inside every time there is some data, we need to actually talk about it and make sure, okay, is this personal data or not? And then, of course, we are not actually interested to store the personal data. But in some cases, like when you're going into owner associations, I mean, there's a lot of personal data because we will know who owns each apartment and so on. But there you have a legitimate interest, and then you don't need to ask. So there's a lot of ways to get around this, but I think it's very important that the whole organization, we put a lot of emphasis on when people are not sure about the data, then they need to come and go to one of the contact persons we have. Because, I mean, we are storing data, we are delivering data, so this is kind of super important for us to know how to handle this, and we spent tremendous amount of time on this.